Send you one. Welcome to Coin Op Conversation, episode 4,806, because I'm not keeping track of them anymore. So, yeah. But you're here with us every week, so you know, right? Right?
Sure
right.
they do.
So, while we give people time to get in, the usual, everybody. Vegeta, don't say you ain't been doing nothing this week leading up to the Coin Op Conversation, because I've been seeing you.
There's nothing. I'm doing nothing different.
Wrong. I've noticed you have been streaming a lot more. You've been streaming Apex a lot more. Yeah, so there you go. So, promote your ish, man. What are you talking about? You've been playing what, ranked?
Yeah, well, we're starting to finally.
Ranked with the boys. Don't sell yourself short. You grinding, my friend. You grinding. You don't talk to your chat, but that's all right. You grinding.
That man, deep concentration. That don't be hilarious though.
Bro, rank, you can't. I can't be looking at the chat while I'm getting shot at in rank. You got to pay to get in the rank, bro.
But in general, you've been streaming more, yes? So
suppose.
Okay. Anything else? Just usual work?
Same old.
I got you. Gamer?
Pretty much the same. Been experimenting with some stuff here and there, but like I said, people got me back into Street Fighter 5, so I've been dabbling a lot on that. And
I've been reading. For the first time in, I don't know, probably months. Maxta, who I work with, coworker of mine, pulled me aside. Yeah, I work with him. He pulled me aside and he was like, "Hey, man, you watching that Street Fighter 5 stuff?" I'm like, yeah. So definitely catching the eyes of players with the new update. I haven't played it. I mean, I've seen people with the Dan Infinite and things like that, and I have it. I haven't started playing it yet, but I want to. I know it's not gonna be, oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've started playing again. But I have that itch, and I feel like it will. It's the scratch I need right now. So I might play a little bit.
Kage's OD.
A lot of people are OD, but that's what the thing is. I see what they did with this update. They just kind of went to the, let's just try and make every character as fun as possible. We don't even care if they're busted. Let's just make them fun.
That's my
and that's what they did.
That's what I live for.
And that's what it is. Like,
if everyone's
a lot of
busted,
characters are busted.
Game's fun. You can play anybody if everybody's busted, right?
And that's the thing. Like the characters, like I play both Laura and Abiki. Both are kind of busted, but they're fun. But with the new mechanic, the shift actually does hurt Laura a lot. Like,
from what I understand, I think it hurts Cody too.
No free lockdowns. I got tired of her nonsense.
It hurts him. Yeah. But there's ways around it though. But Abiki, it actually helps her a lot. Like she gets stupid with it. The stuff she can catch people with, especially with the way a new bomb works. It's so dumb. Because you can bait people into shift, and you can throw the bomb, and it blows immediately. So it's a free jug on the corner if they try to shift into the corner. It's so stupid.
So other than Street Fighter 5, have you been playing anything else? You've been playing Apex or anything?
Yeah, I'm playing Apex. I kind of let myself slip because I was playing Fortnite trying to get this battle pass done. I'm still like 10 levels away. It's a grind to try to get back into that game. But yeah, I've been back into Apex. Been playing more on the PC side than PlayStation, trying to get that back up. And I started this other game called Phoenix Point. And if you know about the XCOM series, the original creator of the XCOM series made this game. And
I've heard about that. Yeah, it's if you play XCOM, it's like the tactical strategy turn-based shooter, right?
Right. And it's good, but the difficulty spike is ridiculous. Like it gets easy, and then it's okay, and then it's just hard for no reason because you got to manage so much stuff. You got to manage food. You got to manage the materials you get to upgrade all your stuff. You got to send multiple squads out. You don't just have one main squad that goes places. You got all kinds of stuff going on with 3 different factions. So you're gonna have like 2 or 3 teams. Like right now, my game, I have almost 4 teams out. And anything could pop off at any moment. and you only have so much time before the world gets engulfed with this new mist that's taking over the world. So man, it gets stressful because there's like so much stuff going on. I got teams everywhere. My team's outgunned. And then there's other faction that's called the Pure that comes in like when you try to do one mission, they'll jump into the mission and attack your people. It's fun, but it's like it's mad annoying at times, but it's really fun. It's really good.
Okay. Okay.
So that's where I've most of my time has been wasted on.
I gotcha. John, what's up with you? Last we heard from you, the caddy was in bad shape. So what's up?
Hey, what's going on with
Yeah.
that? I saw the video.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. Like I passed by and see it at the body shop. So
Oh, it's like the tear every time you drive by. It's like tear.
yeah, but I think a lot of it is just because they're waiting for parts. Because I'm sure turnaround is probably atrocious.
Oh yeah,
due
I
to the
imagine
COVID and
it's
everything
probably
else.
not
Oh,
an easy thing to obtain in general, and so I'm sure.
yeah, with everything going on now.
Yeah,
Anything
but
else been
man,
going on?
nah, not really. Just work. That's about it, really.
I got you. All right. Well, you haven't streamed in a while.
Yeah, I've been thinking about streaming. Like I'll get on with a couple of friends and play Ghost of Tsushima with the Legends mode. So we
Okay.
do
Awesome
like
game.
survival and stuff
Awesome
like that.
game.
It is awesome game.
It's
It
just
is.
I don't really like feel like dabbling with the whole trying to have party chat play on stream also.
I got you.
Like jumping through all the hoops to do all that. So
Yep,
I don't
I
know.
understand that. I got you. Well, if you ever decide you're going to get back into it streaming regularly, if anybody up here is not following you now, go give him a follow now so you'll know when he goes live. For me, chat, I haven't really been doing much. I've been having a lot of doctor's appointments. For those who don't know, my surgery is coming up on the 12th. So once I have surgery, I'll be out of work, as well as I don't know how I'm going to stream yet. So I'm essentially going to be bedridden for 2 weeks, or if I can get up and move, I don't know if stairs is going to be the best case scenario. So the cyber studio is not exactly in the house, if that makes sense. I don't know how it's going to work. So if you're following me on Twitter or Facebook, you will get the most up-to-date information there. I did miss the Weekly Geekly where we talked about WandaVision, the most recent episode of that. I was not feeling good. I was under the weather. So I had to watch Omega, who might be in the chat. I had to watch him talk without me interrupting him for being absolutely wrong about everything. But it was a
You
good
like that?
episode. It was
I
a good
missed that, but it
episode.
was a great episode. I missed the Weekly Geekly though, but
Yeah, so
it was a good episode.
I enjoyed it. I ended up I ran into the chat and did give it an 8. I think it was a great episode. I think people that were expecting a lot from it were because they've had too many people get in their head with theories. And when they don't play out the way that they want them to, or the 4,000 Easter eggs that they think they saw in this other 7 episodes, they think that the show is trash, and that you set yourself up for that. The show didn't do that to you. You did that to yourself. So I gave it an 8. I think it was very good. I had a lot that I could have said about the show, but you know what? I'll just save it for the finale next week, and I'll just double up and make sure that Eric and Omega don't get any words in at all. I'll just take over the whole show. But
I'm surprised that people are hating on it.
Yeah,
I mean,
same.
everybody hates on
I thought it was
everything.
good.
I think it was great. I won't throw any spoilers out right now just because that wasn't a topic. So if you guys are here and that's not what you want to hear, I will not delve into it. But it was a good episode. I enjoyed it. I think it was great. So we're going to move on from that. One of the first topics that we wanted to talk about tonight was actually, it was news that just came out today. The creators, the company behind Fall Guys, has been purchased by Epic Games. So Fall Guys is now owned by Epic Games. What does this mean? They're going to make it cross-platform, which is going to help the game in itself. I don't know if, other than myself, did anybody else play Fall Guys?
Yeah,
Played it
I
for a
mean,
while.
I still play it every once in a while. It's just an easy game to pick up and just mess
Mm.
around with.
I stopped playing it because it was completely and utterly filled with
I mean,
cheaters.
No, they still cheat.
Yeah, that's why I stopped playing. I didn't get the DLC. I didn't put any more money into the game. The cheaters were absolutely rampant. And when you could tell it was a kid's game. And when your kid actually makes it to the end only to get destroyed by a cheater, it takes the wind out of their sails. And when the company is like, hey, we saw them and we banned them, but we can't ban them mid game, and that doesn't give the crown or the experience back to the person that already dealt with the cheater. So we stopped playing it. It immediately left a sour taste in our mouths, and we did not play it anymore. But now that Epic owns it, it is a big possibility that they will introduce their anti-cheat, which, Fortnite has cheaters, but not nearly at the level of some of these other games. So I would venture to say that that's a good news for Fall Guys, but do you think this is a good move for Epic? And do you think that this game even matters? Like, why would they purchase this IP, I wonder?
No,
For a reason that it still has players. People still play this game. Right. Contrary to popular belief, it's not as big as it used to be, but it still has a real big fan base. So, and like you said, it's for kids. Kids equals money. Kids will be into this.
Well,
So
on top
yeah,
of that,
it's very smart.
yeah, on top of that, you can buy skins and stuff like that for it too. So they're like using skins from Cuphead right now.
Yeah, I did see the Cuphead skins, and they have Fortnite skins coming out. Shocker.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Exactly.
I mean,
there you go. You answered your question right there.
Yeah, but it's so
a
weird.
DLC monster.
Right now, the maximum amount of viewers on Twitch is 3,000 right now. I just don't know. I don't know what the game's not going to have some big jump in player base now. Like Fortnite is sitting with 111K viewers.
I don't know. I've seen it as high as 30K recently. So people still play it. It just fluctuates.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Well, there's one person that says they're playing Fall Guys and they're actually doing a Pokemon card pack opening. So yeah, there's that. But the game itself was fun. I didn't dislike the game. I can't remember what else Fall Guys creators, what other games they've done before Fall Guys. I know they weren't successful.
I don't know.
But Fall Guys was kind of like the accidental success. I enjoyed the game though. I thought the game was fun. I played it. I had everybody in my family purchase it, and I played a lot of it when it first came out, and I just immediately got tired of the cheaters. So I mean, I guess, is this good for them then?
I think so.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, it's you got Epic behind it, so you got the Fortnite collabs, of course. Then you got the fact that they got a pretty good anti-cheat, so that's going to kill a lot of the cheaters' momentum. For all the people, and most of the cheaters are probably still tired of this game now. They're probably going to move on anyway because it ain't worth. They'll find something else to cheat on.
There's not much. So, there's not much. I don't understand why people cheated in the first place. There wasn't much to cheat for, but
exactly. But
well, that's cool. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't say how much they purchased it for, and I don't even know if there ever will.
I don't even want to know.
Yeah, that's probably true. But Epic did come out and say that they announced that it will have Fall Guys. Will have Fall Guys. It will have cross-platform. So they're gonna I don't know what else it's on. It's just on the Switch, right? Is it on Switch?
No, it's on PlayStation.
Oh, it's on PlayStation. You're right. It's on PlayStation.
It's on Switch, PC, and
So I feel like that will be really big. Cross-platform will be huge because there's a lot of people that game is not like where keyboard and mouse is such a big skill gap. it's just Fall Guys. So
I mean, I use controller on it.
So do I. So
yeah.
Even though my Scuff Vantage 2 has some serious Joy-Con drift. I'm looking at you, Scuff. I'm still looking at you. Very, very upset. Anyway. Cool. All right. Well, do you guys have anything you want to throw out there?
I'm just.
What you got, Derek?
I was going to say I'm just curious of. I'm pretty sure they're working on some big update. I'd like to see how that goes with it.
Oh, with Fall Guys?
Fall Guys?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
And just
sure they were already probably in the midst of season 3 because I think they
Yeah,
just did
'cause I
season
mean
2.
yeah, they're still on, like, a winter season right now, so that makes more sense for
We'll
them
see. I
to
just want to see where the company goes. I think ultimately Epic purchasing them, getting the Fall Guys IP is just like whatever. I think they're interested in whatever. I think the games company is Tonic. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure they're more interested in what they have going forward. Maybe they have something they're trying to work on and they need that Epic money to make it happen. Even though they made a ton of money off of Fall Guys in a very short amount of time. We'll see what happens there. The Square Enix released a demo. Square Enix publishes this game, but it's made by a different company. Omega, you can help me out if you know, if you're still in the chat. But it's the game Outriders. Have you guys heard of this game?
I've heard
yes,
of it, but I've never played it.
The demo's out, and apparently it is absolutely amazing. Everybody that I have read that's played this and people that I've talked to said that this is almost like a must-have game. I think the biggest problem with it is that it's only a 3-player game. So someone like me who plays with a large variety of people, it kind of sucks. But it looks like it's a third-person looter shooter, and it's pretty much what Anthem should have been, which that game has just recently been put on a permanent hold, as they have come out and said that that game is done. So this looks like the successor to that, unintentionally or intentionally. But this game looks good, and if you have access to Steam, I know it's on other platforms, but I think
PlayStation
Steam
has it on PlayStation Store.
I think you can download the demo on everything. Don't quote me on that if you're killing me in the chat. I don't know for sure. But cross progress according to Omega in the chat. So that's huge. So I think this game has, but not cross platform. That's fine. That's fine. I don't understand. That's fine. I think cross-platform now it should just be universal unless your game is an exclusive title. But I get it. There might be some T's that need to be crossed and some I's dotted that I am not aware of. But overall, guys, give that game a look if it's something that's in your wheelhouse of the type of game. And there's
it seems more like.
Go ahead.
I was about to say it seems more like a Gears of War type game than anything from the gameplay I saw.
Oh yeah, that's how it plays like that, but it's a looter shooter style, like it's dungeon crawl esque.
Like I was gonna say like maybe like Destiny or something like that.
We'll see. Destiny was first person, but in that realm of that's how you get loot, looter shooter style.
Right.
Aliens Fire Team. Have you guys seen this? I know Vegeta, you tagged me in this earlier today, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So this here,
Indeed.
what have you read about this? What have you read?
I haven't really read much of anything. I just kind of saw the trailer and saw somebody kind of review it. It was more speculation than anything.
So
I mean, it looks solid. It looks like it could be solid, but I mean, they got to do it right because from Isolation, the last couple of Aliens games have been like they didn't deliver on promises, and you're kind of like, the game's all right, but it's not what it should have been. That kind of stuff. So
well, yeah, and let's be real. Isolation was a really good game. Like it had a pretty good story, but it was just I want the Marines. You know what I mean? Right. I don't want to be I have to run away constantly. I want to freaking fight. And that game, the reason why Isolation was so good is because it was just putting you in that moment where you couldn't fight back until way later. And even then you couldn't really fight back. It was just temporary.
Well, that was the point. I mean, we never had a game that was just based on like kind of like the first movie where you're just like you're like, oh, I can't really just gun these dudes down and crap. It's like survival, and like you actually put the fear of God in you because you can't actually just blow them apart.
Yeah, which was
but,
cool.
All the Marines ones have been cool, but it's like.
But that's what I want now. I want to be able to blow them apart.
Marines. I like. You know what I hated? You know what game I like? I like Silent Hill. Right? Silent Hill scares the crap out of me, but I can still fight back. Right? If I'm pushed into a corner, I'm putting you down. Right? Then you play a game like Outlast where you can't fight back. All you can do is run. Right? Mm-hmm. I don't like that. I don't. That's literally like. Is it false adrenaline or I forget how to put it. They're putting you in a scenario where you can't win, so you're always on edge. So it doesn't
Right,
matter what
yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
matter what's actually happening. You're just always on edge because of what can happen that you can't do anything about. It's not actually
Right.
progressing the story. It's not actually helping you get better because it was all random encounters when you ran into the alien. Unless it was predetermined by story, it would just show up. So you were always on edge
Yeah,
because you didn't know.
But
Right.
that's the point. I'm saying like it
I'm
doesn't bug me
saying
because I mean it's just taking the what I'm saying, like exploring another aspect of the Alien series. I mean, because we've had like 8 games that just rip them like apart, which is I mean it's cool.
yeah, but all those
I
games were
thought it was a decent
trash.
game, but like AVP wasn't. You kidding me? Second one, AVP 2,
On PC?
like Alien vs Predator 2
On PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one
came out in
was
2000.
yeah, that was okay.
It was freaking good, man.
I said I never played
And
it.
the newer AVP was okay. It was all right. Like it was weird because it was the only FPS game in modern times where you couldn't really. I think you couldn't jump. I was like, that's so awkward. Jump or crouch. It was like Doom style. But again, then Colonial Marines came out, and at first, when we saw the whole, was it E3? We're like, yo, this game's gonna be godlike. And then that whole behind the scenes, they didn't actually make the game, and they outsourced it, and it wasn't what it was supposed to be. I was like, man,
Yeah, that was trash.
So that's why I don't think they did it, because after that happened, they were like, okay, let's take a different approach, because you know what I'm saying, because it was like they don't want to make another game because it was such a failure. So they made Alien Isolation. They're like, oh, it was actually pretty good. Now here we are with this one, and I hope they actually do it right.
Oh, for sure. But like for Isolation, I wasn't saying it was a bad game. I said it's not my cup of tea.
Oh no, I'm just saying that was the point of how it was supposed to be. I kind of knew. I was like, well, it kind of blows that I can't just like kill this thing, but whatever.
Yeah. So, but the new game, Aliens Fireteam, set in the iconic Aliens universe, apparently looks like this is 20 years into 25. The future. 25 years in the
25
future.
years after the trilogy. So after 3,
yeah,
it's 25 years after that.
And
like 23 years, but whatever.
Yeah, it's a cooperative
23
third-person
years.
survival shooter that drops your fire team of hardened Marines into a desperate fight to contain the xenomorph threat. So, survival shooter, I don't know if this is going to be like randomly generated maps and you just have to make it from point A to point B and be attacked randomly by hordes of them that you have to fight off, like Helldivers, which, by the way, Helldivers is a phenomenal game. Helldivers is absolutely amazing. And that's literally, this game could be a better version of that. But Helldivers, if nobody's played Helldivers, chat, if you are watching this now, you haven't played it. The game is not. What just happened here? Why am I dropping frames? Oh my god, I am dropping frames.
Wow. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, chat, Helldivers.
180 ping chat.
Yeah, right. Helldivers is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal. And the only reason why I don't play it anymore is because I played the absolute crap out of it, and I don't think they've updated it. But if you never played it, all 4 or 5 DLCs that they had is an amazing game. Absolutely amazing game. So, all right. So we're all looking forward to that. When is the release date on that? Is there a release date?
Summer.
Summer 2021. Summer. So Aliens Firestorm, I 100% will be streaming that. And we will, as long as there's not copyrighted music, because it is what it is.
I don't think so. I think for this, it'd be like some just, ambiance music.
Just give me the music from the movie, please. Just that's
what I hope.
The adrenaline. That'd be great.
Look at the screenshots and I watch a trailer.
I mean, if you're doing that, I'm trying to be first in, bro. Like you know how this works.
Oh yeah,
like,
no, 100%,
every time we play something co-op, bro.
100%.
I still wish we could have streamed back then.
It doesn't say how many players it is out the gate either, but I imagine it's probably going to be 4. It'll probably be 4.
I don't know. It looked like 3. Looked like 3, maybe more. It'd be cool if it was like 5 or something, but
yeah, I think it's 3.
There's other games like this that are like Deep Rock Galactic, which I've played, and that game is super fun too. If you guys haven't played that as well, that gave me huge Aliens vibes playing it, and GTFO kind of gives me that as well. Yeah. So Omega, thanks for the subscribe with Prime, sir. I appreciate the support. Nick, thanks for the host. But yeah, overall, I think those games were great, and if this game is half as good as those in the Aliens universe, it's going to be a massive success, I think.
I hope
So-
so, because I mean, it's also weird to me because it's like the first Aliens game, like that's a shooter that's actually not first person, which is kind of weird.
And it showed the loadouts with the pulse rifle and the smart gun. I'm telling you, this game, I'm hyped for this game, but I'm not going to get hyped for it until I see more, because I've been shot in the face, so to speak, by this by this franchise. Not only just from the games, but the last few movies. Like I can't just give me.
That's what I said. I was
Aliens.
like, I'm like, cool. I'm like, looks cool, but I'll wait. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I agree.
So we'll see.
I
how
want
that
them to
plays out.
do the right, like. Aliens fans have been getting shafted pretty bad the last couple of years. Actually, last like decade or some change.
Exactly. I mean, the in Fortnite, the alien skins are done very well. Which thank you again, Vegeta, for hooking me up with the Xenomorph and Dizzy with Ripley. That pickaxe with the loader claw arm is just absolutely. It's so big.
That thing is insane.
It's awesome
Like,
though.
why is that pickaxe so big?
I don't know, but it's so like I was watching her character and she pulled it out, and I'm like, I mean, it's the loader arm, so it should be right. But
Yeah, but it's just hilarious.
the whole thing was
She
good.
got she got the kind of strength to swing that around. She didn't need the loader. She just fist fight the queen.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
The last update for Fortnite happens this week, or should have happened today. That would have been the last
I got some
update for
update
Fortnite.
today.
Yeah, so that's the last update before the live event. So if there is another hunter that's going to be released in the story, it will be released this week. I don't think any of the leakers have found anything though, so I think we're just going to get the live event. I think that's it for Fortnite. And
What is that anyway?
the battle pass ends March 15th, so I don't know when the actual finale is, but we'll know more.
Let me hurry
probably
up and finish this game.
I know, right? You got like a week and a half, my friend. So we'll see. But all right, so we're going to move on to one of the main topics that I wanted to talk about tonight, and that is Square Enix. For those who have saw the state of play last week, I wanted to talk about it more then, but obviously we do the coin-op conversations on Tuesday, so I wanted to hold a lot of my opinions for that. They announced 3 things. One of them was a battle royale in the Final Fantasy world. So I would love to get the thoughts of the crew here before I give my thoughts on this in general. But what do you guys think of a battle royale set in the Final Fantasy VII universe?
I
And
thought it
different.
was an awesome idea.
Yeah, I thought it was actually a pretty clever idea. I'm surprised nobody didn't think of that earlier. That actually was pretty clever.
Mhm.
So I thought it was
about to be oversaturated with these things, man.
Yeah, I mean, battle royales are essentially
Right,
they're essentially done. But here's the thing: when I saw the trailer for it, I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. And I noticed the graphics were not 100% there, but I'm like, okay, you know what? Graphics aren't everything, right? And then I noticed it was for iOS and Android only. And this absolutely infuriated me. If you can make a game for
Not doing it.
mobile, there's no reason why you can't just port that over to PC or PlayStation and give it the same exact microtransactions you're given to the mobile market. This is absolutely lazy. This tells me that this game is going to be lazy. This also tells me this game is going to be pay to win. So I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to play it at all. I'm just not even going to bother with it. But when I saw it, I was very interested.
I don't think so, because the reason being, we gotta forget, you got this thing is global, and US is not that big, but the rest of the world is big on mobile gaming. So especially Asia, Korea, Japan, China loves mobile games. So they know that this is a low risk, high reward game. That they can make this game, it's going to make money, and there's something they can use in their back part for laser projects, and they know it.
Yeah,
we may not buy it, but they will.
Well, it's
And
going to be
there's
free
a
to
lot of them.
download, but that completely agrees with me saying it's lazy.
Yeah.
It's lazy. Let's just make
It's
a
easy
mobile
money.
game that's going to make
Easy
us a
money
ton of
grab.
money, and we can charge you an amazing amount of microtransactions, and people are going to purchase it because of the Final Fantasy label.
Mhm.
Yep.
Because what's going to happen is you're going to be in the battle royale and it's going to have something in there, I can already tell, where you can only call your summon out a certain amount of times with your gems or your Final Fantasy crystals, unless you purchase more, unless you have more victories or whatever. There's going to be a pay to win mechanic. I'm 100% positive. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds mobile version of that is way more successful than the original. They even got a Resident Evil tie-in that was mobile only, because their mobile market is so much more successful. And I'm pretty sure the Call of Duty mobile market is insanely successful. And I just think that seeing this, just to me as an actual gamer, to mobile only gamers, take it however you want. As an actual gamer, it's infuriating because there's no reason why this couldn't be on a Switch. There's no reason why this couldn't be on PC. It doesn't even have to be cross-platform. Literally, it takes no effort to port this over to those because mobile is so easy to develop on. And to not put it on those markets is just lazy. That's all it is. It's lazy. And I am very upset. Even though the game didn't look that great, I still wanted it because I love Final Fantasy and Battle Royales is always fun to play. But mobile gamers are gamers too. I mean, okay.
Not traditional gamers. It's like a subsidiary of an actual gamer.
But see, I won't still call it lazy because of the fact that also they don't want to take the risk. Like you said, the market for battle royals is kind of oversaturated as it is right now. If they put all the bells and whistles into this game, and if it doesn't tank, they're gonna lose a crap ton of money. This way, they can do it. And they have a market. If they want to later port it over to consoles, they will. If they, they just don't want to take the risk of it, them making it and then it craps out. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I really want it for the consoles too.
Right.
But I can see why they didn't do it.
Tell me the same thing after this conversation's over, because what we're talking about here for the Battle Royale, that's just going to change in about 5 minutes. Right. Once we get to the other, it's going to change drastically. So that's the end of it. Right. But the other thing that I want to talk about, if we're all in agreement, we all wanted the Battle Royale, but we all think playing on mobile only is trash. Whatever. Ever Crisis.
It is what it is.
Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis to me looked absolutely amazing. Did anybody else see this? Did anybody else pay attention to this?
I saw it. I noticed it. It was a brilliant idea.
I absolutely love this. Did you see it, Vegeta?
I don't know.
Okay.
Probably not.
So it's Final Fantasy right now. All they showed was Final Fantasy VII, right? Key elements of Final Fantasy VII. I think the only thing they really showed was the bombing run, right? But it was the top-down PlayStation 1 style with remade graphics. But when they went into the battle sequence, it was redone like the new Final Fantasy VII remake in terms of graphics. But it seems to be turn-based like the original. And they're going to take you through 7, Dirge of Cerberus, Advent Children, and I think they're even going through Crisis Core.
Crisis Core.
It's like all of them. And they're all going to be put together in episodic form. I don't think it's going to be a open world thing. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be segments of the game to tell the story. But this looked great. I saw this and I was like, hey, I can't wait to play this. Oh, it's iOS and Android only.
Okay. Like 15 other mobile games that they already have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's that hit me right in the jewels. I got to tell you, I was not happy when I saw this. Again, I'll get it on my phone and I'll play it, but I know they're going to charge people for this.
What if it's $15.99 to get it?
Yeah, see, I don't know that I would pay that much for the same experience.
I guess I'll watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't say I'm playing it for that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I will probably get it on BlueStacks and play it on my PC emulated, but
yeah, that's what most people are going to do anyway.
Yeah, I'm just going to BlueStacks it, but. So Omega said, looking at the pricing plan, it's 1 chapter every month. That's okay. That's that can go really bad. Because if a chapter is the bombing run and the next chapter is just them at Midgar, and then the next, like, you're gonna make me pay for like 7 chapters of the same story. just till I can get to Advent Children because there was no game for that. Here's the thing. I can't put it past them now after what we're going to talk about next. So with Ever Crisis, I want it. I want it. Whether or not I get it is going to be a completely different scenario. Next thing I want to talk about is what I have dubbed Scam Enix.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you have that one. Go for it.
Scam Enix.
Rant on it.
For those who are aware, maybe not aware, Final Fantasy VII Remake has DLC coming for the longevity of the episode 1 story. It is the Yuffie or however you want to say it story. And it's takes place from the looks of it in between the time that Cloud was missing from everyone else. And I'm guessing that's when he was with Aerith and they were Tifa and Barrett were when they were all separated. However, in order to play this DLC, you have to purchase a PlayStation 5. Not the game. Not the game. Because if you already own the game, you can purchase the DLC after you purchase the PlayStation 5. Not before. So
the game is free right now.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
No.
If you download the PlayStation Plus version of Final Fantasy VII Remake, you cannot upgrade to the PS5. So it is 100% worthless other than if you just want to just play through a game and get the story for the first episode. You cannot get the game upgraded on the PlayStation 5 if you download the free version from PlayStation Plus. So if you want that DLC after getting it for free on the PlayStation Plus, which you pay monthly for. So you paid for your monthly subscription for PlayStation Plus. You get your Final Fantasy VII Remake. You see that in just a few short months, the Yuffie DLC is going to come out. You have to spend just $600 to play a 10-hour DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone
exactly
not
right.
see a problem with this? Does the silence from my cohort say that you do not see a problem with this?
Square Enix don't see a problem with it.
All right, I'm gonna play devil's advocate once again.
Let's do devil's advocate here. There's none.
Now listen to my. You had your rant. You had your rant. My turn.
Man, I want to see the gymnastics on this one. I want to see you flip, flop, and fly on this one. Please, please.
Okay. I got 3 reasons why. To me, I'm not as worked up as everybody else are.
Mm-hmm.
1, when's the game come out?
In like 2
June
months.
10th. Yeah, June 10th. So between now and then, and like you say, I've seen this play out before too. Played out in Dragon Warrior. Dragon Warrior did the same thing. Dragon Warrior came out, the exclusive deal ran up, which this runs up in April. They released the version on the Switch. The Switch version had extra DLC on it that the PlayStation didn't have. Right before the Switch version got released, it released that DLC on the PlayStation 4. So between now and then, they still could release it. We don't know yet.
Oh, but we do know. They've literally told you. It's not coming to PlayStation 4.
And they said the same thing for Dragon Warrior. And guess what? Go into the PlayStation 4 and guess what you'll see? The DLC for the Dragon Warrior. Because you know why? Yeah, because you know why? They want to make money. Dog, you know how much money they're going to make off this DLC? You think they won't going to do this?
Let me explain that. Let me explain this real quick, right? Yeah. How many people here own the Final Fantasy VII Remake on the PlayStation 4 right now? In this call, how many people? Chat, you can actually chime in if you want. How many people own Final Fantasy VII Remake?
Okay. We all own it.
So we all own it, right?
Right.
So are you going to buy a PlayStation 5 to play this DLC?
You got to my next point that I wanted to get to. Also, how many people in this chat were going to get a PlayStation 5 anyway? Before this announcement even got made, were you or were you not getting a PS5?
A
So
couple
let's
years
say you
from
got a
now.
PS5. Let's say this announcement never got made, and all of a sudden you got your PS5, and then they make this announcement.
There's no all of a sudden for me, my friend. I have no heat in my house.
Let me finish.
I
let
can't
me
afford a
finish.
Let me finish.
PlayStation.
Yeah,
And
you
see,
can't
Vegeta
say
already
all
has
of
a
a sudden.
PS5,
I
so
don't
Vegeta
have
probably
one,
doesn't
don't
even
plan-
care.
Like I don't
And
have
me,
one.
I'm
I
not
don't
planning on
plan
getting
on
one
getting
for
one.
a while.
No, I don't
So
plan on
what's-
getting one at all. Like until they have something that would warrant me spending the money.
Which is not a 10-hour DLC, by the way.
exactly.
But I'm saying,
Like, none
okay,
of us-
well, in that
this
vein,
wasn't
I
going-
mean,
Go ahead, Marvin.
what difference is it? No, I'm saying if you never plan on getting one or whatnot, then what difference does it make?
Okay,
Ding,
I will
ding,
break
ding,
it.
ding,
Look,
ding,
look,
ding,
look,
ding,
I'm
ding.
gonna
There it
break
is.
it down
That's
to
my
you right
concept.
now. I'm gonna break it down to you for you right now. When I bought Final Fantasy VII Remake, there was nothing that said I would not be able to buy DLC for this game unless I spent $500.
That's the thing. You were getting a PlayStation regardless, so you're not buying
I'm
a
not getting
PlayStation
one,
Edition
though.
for that thing.
Look,
That's
I'm
what you're
not
making
getting
an
one,
argument.
though.
Well,
You're making an
I
argument.
just got
that-
two questions. Like, it's okay. So the first thing was that is like, well, he said he wasn't gonna get one either way. So it's like, okay, cool, like, fine. But you said you're gonna get one a couple years from now. So even by the time you get one, you'll still be able to get the DLC if you wanted it. Like,
By
it
then,
literally
episode
does
2
not.
would become. So you're telling me my paperweight collector's edition that's sitting in the corner that I can't.
Come out with this remake. Really think it's coming out 2 years from now? I don't think so. I'll be honest, I do not think so.
So in general, the Final Fantasy VII version that I have in my house right now, I cannot finish. That's not
What
a
do you mean?
problem.
You already finished
You
it.
can finish
It's already
No,
finished.
I can't
It's
finish
already
the
finished.
DLC story. So you don't think DLC is an extension of the story?
It just
It's
tells
not
a
an
part of what
extension,
she
it's
was
a side
doing.
story, man. Like, you could
Exactly.
argue.
It's just telling you what she's doing.
Like, I see your
but
point, but at the
but
same
I don't
time,
have the
it's
option
kind of like
to play that. I don't have the
I'm
option to
saying-
play that.
see the point, but it's again because of your guys' unique situations. What you just said, it literally does not affect you anyway.
So no, it does affect me because I own the game. I own the game sitting.
You
I
are-
can see it right there. I'm looking at it right now,
Yeah,
and
like
I
I said,
can't
I
buy
don't.
the DLC.
I can't hazard a guess. Like, companies do this nonsense all the time. At this point, I'm just kind of used to it. Like,
Yeah, guys.
I think with the amount of backlash people get on stuff, they're gonna cave and release it, or they're planning to release it the whole time. They're just like doing this because like they don't want to have a cyberpunk thing.
It's not even about
where-
caving. It's about the fact that I purchased a game that was like, hey, I'm getting this game. I expected episode 2, 3, 4, however many more to be on next gen consoles. The game that I own, the DLC for this, I cannot play unless I spend $520.
And what you were going to
For-
spend anyway.
for
You
the
still
content.
were going to get the
But this
console.
system
That's the
everybody's
thing.
gonna have eventually anyway. Like, dude,
Exactly. You were going to get the console
inevitable.
anyway. This is different
Guys,
if like
Guys,
look, like
can I say something? Can I say something?
go ahead. Go
Can I
ahead.
say something? Number one, the whole point is not about us. It's about
Yeah.
all the people who are Final Fantasy fans that if they get the free copy, they can't play it on PS5
So why
and they
even
can't
get
play
the free
DLC.
copy?
Like,
It's a
that's
scam.
the
This
point.
is a free copy.
ain't
You're
about-
still playing the
it's-
game.
It's not about us. We've already established how we feel. I'm talking about the people who have never played, like the people you don't even know. The people you don't even know exist.
And I'm about to get to them too. Because here's the deal. If what Cyber's argument is, that means everybody who has a PC, they're mad, and everybody who has an Xbox, who are Final Fantasy fans, are mad because guess what? You had to buy a PlayStation 4 to play Final Fantasy Remake.
Even
So that
no,
means you have to spend $400 to get that.
wait.
So
Is
these
it-
people
what-
still
what's-
don't get
Resident
no,
Evil
no, no,
4
no,
was
no, no, no.
exclusive at
Wait,
first.
what's even better
Yeah.
is it's the exclusive runs out in in April.
It does. And let's say they don't make a copy for it.
It's
PC
coming to
now with.
PC.
You
It's
know,
gonna
I'm
come to
starting to
PC.
wonder though, because you said, you know
Is
what I'm saying? Well, I mean, what
Of
if
course
they
it is.
they
I
just
know
have
that.
to do
It's
it like
coming to
every
PC.
Just say they
season?
don't.
Because they already did it with Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, they did
They
the
did
same
the
thing
same
with 15.
So
here's
Exactly.
the thing.
And they
Yeah.
did the same thing with Dragon Warrior 2 with all the extra bells and whistles.
But
That's
hold
what
on,
I'm
you just said it
saying.
would
Came
come
out
out
later.
later, right?
Gamer,
so what if they
you-
just had
That's
to...
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is this. Because every argument everybody's making,
Patience. It's impatience. Like I'm
Thank
telling
you.
you,
It's just
if what you just said is true when you said the
It's-
exclusivity
it's
thing
not
runs out in April,
impatience.
right? They
It's-
probably just announced it and be like, "Hey, look what we're doing," and then when it runs out in April, like, "Oh, by the way, here you go, it's on PS4
because you
don't have to."
think the
I don't
PC
know.
version is not going to have the DLC on it. That's a selling point.
Look,
Of course.
look, I'm going to tell you now, right? I go into a lot of homes with my job, right? I go into a lot of homes. I see a lot of families, right? There's a lot of families out there where they don't have PCs, okay? So that let's just go ahead and throw that out the window. They don't. They just don't. They have to make a choice whether it's Xbox or PlayStation, okay? 2020, Final Fantasy VII Remake came out. Or do we all agree with this?
Yep.
Okay. So those families, right? Whether it be their parents or whatever, buys the system for them because Final Fantasy VII Remake was a console seller. No one disagrees with this, yes?
Yep.
Okay. So they purchased this for their kid. Their kid may not see that the trailer for the DLC, right, is PlayStation 5 only, or they have PlayStation Plus and they just downloaded Final Fantasy VII Remake. They have no way to play the DLC for this game unless their parents go out and purchase a PlayStation 5 that they can't even find right now for a minimum of $500 to give them the option to purchase DLC for a game they already own. I don't care if this game came out as like some big collector's edition. It's not. It's literally the DLC for this. This is not some special edition you're purchasing. This is an extension of the game you already own, and they're asking you to pay $500 to play it. How are you guys not upset about this?
Because all those people that
Because
you
it's
went to that
happened
house,
before for decades, man.
It doesn't
It's
make
not the
this
first time
right.
it's happened.
Are you
Because
telling
also,
me that
listen.
you're just supposed to accept it?
because also
I mean,
all those
what else
people
are we
you went to
gonna
that
do?
house,
It's been
You
happening
don't
for
purchase it.
decades, dude. Like I'm like, this is nothing new. It sucks. It's stupid, but it's
but look
like
at this.
it has
Also,
happened
all those people
before.
at houses you
Nothing's
went
gonna
to that
change
has
if
a
they don't want it to.
PlayStation, you think they're not going to get a PlayStation 5?
Yes.
See, you
I'm
acting like nobody's
100%
going to
sure
get a
they're not.
PlayStation 5
I can't get a PlayStation 5 if I wanted to right now. You can't
right
get
now,
them.
which it's June.
How many copies,
ain't that-
gamer?
it's-
How many copies of Final Fantasy VII Remake sold? Do you know? How many? Look,
Millions.
chat. Yeah, okay. Is there millions of PlayStation 5s out there right now?
People,
I don't
actually,
even-
yes, people
no,
got
there's
them.
not. There's thousands, maybe.
And this game comes out in June. It's not like there's not ever going to be a PlayStation 5 ever. You act like there's not going to be none again. Dude, it's June.
This isn't
Between now and June, between now and September, between now and January of next year, there's going to be
This is-
plenty of them.
This is not for a
Then people
launch
can get the
title.
thing. You don't have to get the game day one, man. You act like people got to get the DLC day one. They
I own the
don't.
game. I own the game day one. It's not the game. It's the DLC for it. I literally own the game. I can't finish it.
Exactly, but still, you can't. You have
There's
to
no way-
finish it on
Oh.
June. You finish it when you get your PlayStation. There's no like you're not even gonna care about that DLC when June comes out because you be playing something else or doing something else. And if you get your hands on a PS5 between now and then, you'll probably be playing something else and you wouldn't
So,
even care.
If
If you
you're
had the
sitting here
PlayStation
saying-
5 when that game came, when that announcement made, you wouldn't even have cared. If you had the PlayStation 5 when that announcement came out, it wouldn't have batted an eye because you already have a PS5. You don't care. I look on my friends list. I see more and more PS5 icons each day because people are getting them. Eventually, people are going to get them. If you get the game in June, you get it in September, or you get the DLC of March of next year, it's going to be there.
See,
It's going to
there's
be
a
all
lot of
right.
stuff that
Man.
ties
You can
into
get it
that
when you
choice,
want
so-
it.
Guys,
It's not that serious.
Guys, it's not about getting the DLC.
Scam.
It's about the amount of money that they make because they make you buy the console again
Scam.
and buy
That's
the
the
game
whole
again.
thing. They're not making you buy a console. That's if you want the console.
See,
You're
that's-
going to get
that's-
the console
I don't know, that's kind of
anyway.
extreme.
It's just an incentive. If you
Well,
have
no,
it,
wait,
hey,
because
you
it's-
can play this
it's
actual
like
thing.
the generational stuff with every console is just it just happens. Like eventually it's going to phase the 4 out and the 5 comes through and people will get that.
The
Like
game's
it's
not even a year old.
it's
if you
just-
tell me they're
just
phasing
because
it
it's
out.
in like a. I'm saying it's because it's in transition. I'm talking about the consoles themselves. Like it's inevitable that from here forward people are going to get the newer system. So I mean, there's going to be something you need on it or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
So
Like
you're-
it's going to happen. Like
So
you're going to get the
here's the
next
thing.
generation. This will happen. It's just the
Spider-Man.
timing is because it's in
Spider-Man Miles
between.
Morales,
Like
Cyberpunk
DLC.
2077. All of those were
you
free
saw how much
upgrades
of a
to
disaster
PlayStation
that
5.
crap was. That
And
thing
they
was
were-
a mess.
But I'm not. That's a different argument. The point is that it was a free upgrade. There was no you have to pay extra fees.
Bro, it's a downgrade, man. Oh
Yeah,
my
both
god.
those games were
They
downgraded to the
actually,
PS5
honestly, they made that
versions.
for PS5 and
But they were
and the
downgrades from
Xbox
what?
X and
From
the
the
PC,
PC
and they
version?
just like, hey, let's port it back to the old systems, and it was god awful. It wasn't. I don't think it was made
So
4 to 5. It was made.
we
5 back.
agree that there is nothing that this DLC does that the PlayStation 4 can't handle, correct?
Yeah.
It's all on the
Pretty
same
much, yeah.
exact engine. So it costs them nothing to release it on the PlayStation 4. Yeah? You're
Yeah.
telling me they
Right.
won't make the same amount of money if it's still a free
Telling me that
upgrade to
you
the
really,
PlayStation 5?
really think they're not going to release that on PS4, bro?
Exactly.
You are
I'm
really
Because they
sorry. I
said
serious
seem
to
to
tell me that
remember
shit.
telling you that the stuff wouldn't transfer over either, and we had this conversation, and people were like, "No, they wouldn't do that. That shit ain't transferring over to episode 2."
This has nothing to do with transfers. Do
saying-
you really think
I'm
this DLC
saying-
will not release on PS4?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Yes.
trust me, I guarantee it will. Because they
Right.
said the same. There's a couple of articles. They said same thing about Dragon Warrior. Said same thing. Oh, we're not making this for. It's only for the Switch.
How
You look
long
in the
did it
PlayStation
take?
Store, and there it is.
How long did it
And
take
that,
before the?
So I'm not
release?
tripping.
right
because I
before
know
they
too many
released it
people
on the Switch,
complaining,
they
so
did
it's
it.
gonna happen.
Right
Or if
before.
they weren't playing it already, there's no way.
Yeah.
I think they're just trying to make money at first.
And
to see
even
how
if it
many
doesn't
people
come out the
actually
same
buy the
day,
system,
same day,
and
it'll
then-
come out later.
Who are they trying to make money from? You already own the game. Who are they making money
all that
from? You
nonsense,
already
bro.
own the game.
Yeah, they're
Are you
still
buying
gonna
the
make
game
money from the
again?
people who has, yeah, who are people who have people. You think people ain't gonna buy this game again when it comes on PC? The people who bought it on PS4, you think they're not gonna buy the PC version? That's
You
not gonna
can't
be
buy
part
the
of the progression.
PlayStation 5 again. It's a free upgrade. So what are you
I'm
buying?
talking about people. I'm talking about the exclusive deal. You think people ain't gonna buy this
Like I
again when it
said,
comes to PC?
impatience.
The
Exactly.
exclusive deal, people that have PC, they're going to purchase it if they didn't buy it on PlayStation 4?
But the people who got PlayStation 4 still gonna buy it on
I'm
PC
saying
too.
if you already own the game, who are they making money off of?
The people who are eventually going to get the game when they get a PS5.
But you don't have to pay for it. It's a free upgrade. So you're
But
telling me
they-
they're
you
going to
still
make so who's making the money off a $20 DLC, gamer?
No, the DLC is $20 regardless. You still have to buy the DLC even if you have the game. The game updates for free. You get
Right.
updated graphics and
So
stuff.
to
The
buy
DLC
a
you have to pay
$20
for
DLC,
regardless.
you have to spend $500. Do you agree with that?
No, because in fact you still will get the PlayStation regardless. Unless you got your PlayStation just for that game, then yes, then you paid $500. But if you were getting a PlayStation 5 for any other game regardless, then it's just another $20 you were going to spend on a DLC. And like we're going to $20 we're going to spend on a DLC when it comes to the PS4, and we got to spend $20 for it anyway. So either way, you're going to spend $20 for it. Either it's going to be on the PS5 when you get one eventually, or if it comes to the PS4 and you got to pay $20 for it. Regardless, you're still going to pay $20.
So you would say that Square Enix would make the same amount of money to release it on the port of the 4 as they would a 5. If I already own the PlayStation 5, then Square Enix is not making more money, right? So why not release it on 4?
That's what I'm saying. They're going to release it on 4 because they're going to make more money off of that because people are going to buy it there. And you think people ain't going to buy it again when they get to the PS5 if that the whole thing doesn't upgrade? Or
you
if they
don't have to buy it again. That's what I'm saying. So if they release it on 4, they make the same amount of money. The fact that they're not releasing it on 4 is because their exclusivity deal with Sony to make you purchase it for $500. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with the specific game. That's what I'm telling you. It has nothing to do with the game. It has everything to do with selling the console for DLC. Otherwise, Square Enix makes the same exact amount of money, whether it's on the 4 or the 5, because you already own 7. You already own it.
So what about people who already own the PS5 then?
The people that already own the PS5, then that Sony already got that money.
And they're going to pay the $20 for the deal.
And like I say again, if this thing never got announced and you got a PS5 before that, it doesn't matter. You're still going to pay the $20.
Gamer.
Like
Square
you make it sound like
has the option of putting it on the 4. It doesn't matter if I have a 5 or not. I own the game. Square and Sony are 2 different companies, yes?
Right. But the fact is,
so they can release it on 4 and make the same exact amount of money. Agreed?
But who said agreed? But who said they're not going to put it on the 4? Because we don't know
They
yet.
said you have to upgrade to the 5 to buy it.
Again, they said the same thing for the games on the Switch, and that you had to
Move-
only have it's going
move
to be on
on.
Switch,
Just-
and then
just move on.
wow,
Just
it was on
move
the
on.
4 later.
Just move
In other
on.
words, we
Move
don't
on.
know yet until April, May, and then June when it comes out.
Move on.
And if it doesn't, it okay, it just only be on for the 5. But either way, people, everybody who has a 4, 90% of them was still going to get a PlayStation 5.
But that other
So down the
10%,
line,
the other
Just move on.
10% that owns
Move
Final
on.
Fantasy VII can't buy the DLC. That's cool.
and that's on them if they don't want it or not. But guess
Yeah,
what?
that's
It
on
say
them,
this
not,
thing,
not the company that made the game that
and
could release it for the same price for free for the company of the console that they already own the game for.
Keep
and they could,
moving on.
but and even still, if and like anything else, if they don't move it to any other platform, they don't get to play either. Like Omega, he loves PCs. If he didn't own a PlayStation and he wanted to play Final Fantasy, which he loves, and he can't,
Oh,
guess
by the
what?
way, gamer,
You gotta shell out money
he
for.
bought the PlayStation to play Final Fantasy VII Remake,
There you go.
and he can't buy the DLC. So,
Well,
point proven
He-
on this guy.
but
He
really,
only
people
bought
are
the
because
making,
then somebody's
PlayStation
going to do
4
the same
Final
thing for the
Fantasy VII
DLC.
Remake.
You just prove your
Yeah,
what?
you-
That doesn't make
there
sense.
you go.
You
See,
just did
there
what
you
you said
go.
they're
I
gonna
did
do for
not,
PS5.
because he already owns
Exactly.
the game. He already owns the game. It's not about the
Yeah, and I own
console,
the game.
guys.
No, because I own the game too, and I have a PS5. All I gotta do is put it on my PS4. I'm good.
Because you're one of the lucky ones that
Think
has
that,
it.
you know what? Yeah, but I'm saying somebody else is gonna think the same thing. Like, you know what? I'm gonna buy this because I want to play the DLC, and they just happen to buy the actual game with it. Like, it's the same concept of what Omega just did, except you just get extra DLC for the PS5 game.
I guarantee
just
you,
said
there's
that.
no one buying a 5 that doesn't already have the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Right?
Nonetheless, it's the same concept. You
It's
just
not
said
the same
Omega bought
concept.
a $60 game and a PS4 to play that $60 game.
But he can't
somebody's
buy
gonna
the
buy
DLC
that, you know what I'm saying?
for
Like-
the game he owns. Agreed?
Oh my god, you're missing the point.
No,
you just
you're
your own
missing
point.
the point.
I'm not missing anything, bro.
Because it's
It's
not
the
buying
same
a game.
concept.
No,
Oh,
listen.
what
Listen. He's not buying a new game for a new console. Do we agree with this?
If he has the game or not, it's the same crap.
It's not the same. He can't buy this. He can't buy
You
the
gotta buy
extension
the
to the
disc-based
game he
game.
owns.
You gotta buy the PS5. Both of those have to be purchased.
For what?
Just like you bought the disc-based game and the PS4. What
No,
you know what I'm saying? The
if-
only
if you
difference
buy
is
a
on the
base
5, hey,
game-
cool, we get DLC.
If you buy the base game, right? Why can't you get the DLC for that game that you own on the console you own it for?
It's the same thing, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You just said Omega
you
wanted to
you
play
didn't
the
answer my
remake of 7.
question. You didn't
How
answer
is
my
it the
question.
How is it the same thing?
Literally
If
trying
I
to
own a
explain that.
game, what? Okay, I'm listening.
You just said Omega wanted to play the remake of 7. He doesn't have a PS4. Cool. He has to buy the game. He has to buy the PS4 console. All right, cool. He's got the game. He's got the console. So you take somebody in the same situation who doesn't have a console. Hey, I want to play Final Fantasy 7, but I don't have a PlayStation. They'll buy Final Fantasy 7.
No.
They'll
Wait.
buy the
PlayStation
PlayStation 5
Marvin.
Marvin. We're not talking about another person. We're talking about Omega. We're talking about Omega having a PS4
You know what?
and
No, you
having
see,
the
I'm
game,
talking about-
but he can't get the DLC
For the game
because
he
he
I'm
owns.
doesn't
talking
have a
about
PS5.
that. I'm talking about you. Just look, dude. You just said that because y'all making a big hype because like, oh, you can't play the DLC. You have to buy PS5 to get the DLC. It's
But
the
you
same
do.
thing. If somebody new is buying a PS5 instead of because they've never had PlayStation, they're like, you know what? I feel like playing the remake of 7. So they buy the PS5. They buy the base game. They can play the DLC too. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
It's the same thing.
So here's the thing. Omega has his PlayStation 4 with his Final Fantasy 7 that he purchased the PlayStation 4 for. Little Timmy goes into Electronics Boutique or GameStop or whatever it's called now, buys a PS5, gets Final Fantasy 7 Remake. He can now purchase the DLC for the game that he owns, whereas Omega
Yeah.
cannot. Do you
He already
see
got
the
his money.
difference
Doesn't
there?
matter.
It doesn't
I see the
matter. He
difference.
can't finish the game.
Oh my god, dude. He's going to get one anyway.
No, he's not. He
That's
never
what they're
said
banking
that.
on. That is what they're banking on.
Omega never said that. He never said he's going
I'm
to go
saying
buy a
that
PlayStation 5.
is, from a company standpoint, that is what they are banking on.
Okay,
because
so Vegeta,
the PS5 and the Xbox
he
X are the
he
new
already
stuff, right?
owns the Final Fantasy 7 Remake, right?
Hold on.
So if he was going to buy the DLC for $20, what difference does he make if he buys it on the PlayStation 4 or 5? Please tell me. The company that made the
Same,
game,
because
it's the same money. Yes?
Yeah,
The
but I'm saying,
Square Enix made the same money.
These current consoles are. It's like they don't care anymore. They're just kind of trying to phase them out. That's my point. Like,
But that's not
at
Square.
this point, it's like,
That's Sony. That's two different companies. Square Enix makes the same
but aren't
game.
they like in league and some crap? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's probably why they're doing it.
That's why it's a scam. That's why it's a scam. Because Square Enix makes the same money regardless. They're fucking over their fans who already own the game because they want to sell more Sony consoles.
Because of the obvious backlash, again, I will say, you really think they're not going to end up releasing on PS4, bro?
If they release it on
Like, that's why I don't
PS4,
get what
it's
people are
because
tripping.
they know it's scummy.
I'm saying that people are tripping, and I'm sitting here thinking, dude, I really think they're going to release it on PS4. They probably can't say anything to whatever their crap is that's up, like in April. Just wanted to expose it. Like,
so,
yeah,
hey, that may be true.
Backlash.
That may be true.
Saying,
they
like,
may say, hey, look,
that is why
exclusivity
I'm not
deal's
upset
over.
about it.
Might be on PlayStation 4. If it doesn't come out on 4, do you still not have a problem with it? Because you're telling me now you're waiting to see. Are you telling me if it doesn't ever come out on 4, you don't have a problem with it?
Doesn't affect me.
But okay.
I'm gonna say because he has a PS5 already, so
Saying it doesn't affect me, so I don't have an opinion of it one way or the other.
You can still understand the situation and understand that they're screwing over the fan base that loves this game, right?
As far as you're assuming, yes.
So again, if this does not come out on 4, or does this not outrage
We'll
you?
talk about it when that happens.
But currently,
I honestly think
now,
that they're going to do that because there's no way. Like, I mean, okay, so the next part of Final Fantasy, I can see it just being on PS5 only. Obviously,
I agree with that 100%.
But I'm pretty sure that this DLC is going to come out on 4.
If it doesn't, we'll revisit this conversation. What's the timeline?
That's fine. Absolutely.
What's the timeline? April? What's the timeline?
Probably around June.
I'll
so
say
when it's
June
released. When it releases.
When it releases, remember. Like, oh, by the way, it'll come out in 2 months.
Internet keeps receipts. Internet keeps receipts.
That's fine. I don't care. Like, I really don't care. One more the other.
Like,
can we talk about how the DLC is also lazy because it looks like one of the boss fights is a VR mission and not actual content in the game? Does that not upset anybody?
I didn't even notice.
Me,
I ain't even ain't that deep to me. I didn't even notice. But like I said, to me, like I said, I'm not. Do I agree? Like the thing says, I never say I didn't agree with the practice. I don't. I never did. I was real more heated with the way he did Dragon Warrior for that. I was more heated the way he did that.
I didn't play Dragon Warrior. I would have been heated for that as well.
But at the same token, I'm not making a big deal about this. I'm not saying that I agree with the practice. I'm not justifying that the practice is good. What I'm saying is I'm not that upset by it because of the fact that whenever I decide to get a PS5 down the line, whenever, it'll be there waiting for me when I get there. It's not that big of a deal.
Here's why I'm upset, and I'll
So
tell
that's
you
why
why
I'm not that upset with it.
Final Fantasy VII to me was a life changer, right? We all, anybody that knows me from the history knows that game for me was like a literal era-defining game for me. When they said this game was going to be episodic, I was already very pissed off about it. We know about this from the general conversations we've all had. I said that they were going to do certain things that were just going to make the game, in my opinion, worse and a money grab. And other people that I've talked to that white knighted this said that they weren't going to do that to this franchise, that they weren't going to do that to their fans. And then they go even worse. And someone who in my condition, I'm in a house with no heat, I'm going to have surgery, potentially might not have a job in a month, can't afford a PlayStation 5, but I could afford $20 DLC to maybe keep me entertained for 10 hours that I can't afford. And now I'm sitting in a situation where people's like, just get a fucking PS5, bro. Pay $500 to pay content for a game you already own. How does that, do you not see how that's infuriating? Oh, that's just the company. I'm the guy that can't afford that shit.
A lot of people can't afford it right now. That's why people don't have it. You buy it when you can afford it.
I'm yelling for them. I'm yelling for me.
Exactly.
Like,
you're upset. That's fine. You're upset. I get why you're upset, but to blow it up to make it like it's like the worst thing ever, no, it's not that serious. Because again, down the line, you were going to get a PS5 when you had the funds to get one. And when you got it, you're going to purchase the DLC for that game.
I promise you.
Hell, you probably wouldn't even got the DLC until later on. You probably been playing other stuff.
I promise you, I will not purchase this DLC.
And that's fine for you. I understand it. I get it. I'm gonna get it eventually, when I eventually get my
I'll
PS5,
I'll
that
watch a
won't be to
YouTube playthrough.
2023.
I'll watch a YouTube
But-
playthrough of the guy who gets it 3 weeks early because they want an influencer to show everybody how awesome it is. I'll watch that. I'll watch that playthrough.
Oh yeah, they'll do that like they did with Final Fantasy 14. They did the same thing.
and-
I mean, with the
Tekken
game,
7.
Final Fantasy remake. Yeah, they do that with everybody. That's old hat. That's whatever. That bounces off my chest. Whatever. But so eventually, people still gonna buy it. There's people who gonna buy 2 of them. There's people when they put this thing on the
I can name
PC
somebody
are
who's
gonna
going
own
to.
like every. I know people who are going to. I'm in 3 Discords who tell me people they're going to do it. They already have the PlayStation 4 version. They're going to buy the Xbox version, and they'll buy a Switch version if it comes out for the Switch. Looking like Minecraft. They'll still purchase it too. People still going to buy this stuff. It is what it is.
I don't know that there's a franchise that I would do that for.
I wouldn't do it for no franchise, and I love Final Fantasy, and I wouldn't do it for them. Matter of fact, they got a mobile game. Talking about mobile. They got a game based off of Final Fantasy Tactics, which is by far my favorite game. And I still haven't
and that's
bought
a
that.
money grab, dude. No,
And that thing looks beastly.
It is actually
I heard
really
about
good,
it.
but people have spent that I know thousands of dollars.
Oh, I seen streams
what?
where people are
Maybe?
spending thousands of dollars on that thing. No,
On the Final Fantasy Tactics, I can't remember what it's called. It's the mobile
It's
version
called
of it.
War of something.
Yeah,
But
it's actually
That was just
a
a-
really good game, though. It is really good, but yeah, no,
it
it's a cash
looks
grab.
good, and I'm
It's just
tempted.
a
Like
port
every day I'm
or
grabbing my
something.
phone, wanting to pay it, but
You,
no,
you
I'm
can
not
just
doing it.
BlueStacks it, but still, it's microtransactions. That game is literally pay to win.
It is.
It's pay to win. Again,
But ain't
I'm
no way in
not.
the
I'm not
world.
a fan of those practices. I mean, I do.
I'm not.
I play
What's that?
Fortnite
Yeah.
for skins.
Yeah.
You know, it's cosmetic, but I don't like pay to win cosmetic or pay to win. Omega said he would do it for Phantasy Star. I may have unintentional. Oh, you know what? I have. I've bought Chrono Trigger on every platform.
I have to. Damn. Yeah, I have to. I have it on PSP. I have it on PlayStation 1. I have the original. Yeah, I have it on like
All
damn
I
everything.
have is my cartridge back there on my Super Nintendo.
Ain't that worth a
Nah.
ton, man?
Yeah, I did it for
do.
Final Fantasy 6.
I mean,
I
I don't
bought
have
Final
the box anymore, so.
No,
And
if
I
you
did it
still
for
have the
Final
box,
Fantasy.
that'd be worth it. That'd be worth some change
Man,
right
I'm
there,
gonna say,
buddy.
you know how much? I think I still have the box. It's in storage. I think I
I'd
still
say
have
if
mine
you
in
still have the
box.
box, that's some change. That is some
Yeah, because
change.
it's like $100. Much more. It's like
I think
$200
if it's
out of
complete in box, it's,
cartridge.
yeah, I was gonna say if it's a complete in box, it's pretty good.
It's probably like all close to 4 digits.
It
Yeah,
could be
it's
perfect
up
condition.
there. Because
I know that I know the market is saturated, but for the console, for the cartridge itself, it's pretty pricey. I used to have a website, and you know what? On this PC, I don't have it, but I had the website that like the local places like Video Game Heaven and all them that they use to tell you how much they would trade in for complete in box. Because I have a couple Nintendo games that are like I have the TMNT Tournament Fighters on Nintendo. I didn't even
That's worth a
know
lot of money,
Jesus.
that's worth a lot of money.
It is worth a lot of money. I didn't even know it was on Nintendo. I literally,
me neither.
I didn't for a while either, so like 2 years ago.
my cousin
I didn't
gave
know
me,
until a tournament. I didn't know.
yeah, my cousin gave me totes of consoles and games that he had picked up at yard sales. And I was going through them and I'm like, TMNT Tournament Fighters on Nintendo? I put it in. It's virtually unplayable. Not because the game isn't, or not because the game's broken, because the game is broken. Like, it's not playable.
course.
It's a fighting game on Nintendo. It's not playable. But
But
I
I
was like,
think-
oh, okay. And then I looked it up and I'm like, yo, this game is actually worth a lot of money. I also
Yeah, I think
have
at one
Nightmare
of the
on Elm Street.
final rounds. I think one of the final rounds I saw it there. They had like the mystery game tournament, wherever it's called. I forgot what they call it, but and it was either there or TFC. One of them they had it though. I didn't know it neither till I saw it there. But yeah, that game's worth a grip.
It's worth a lot. And I have Nightmare on Elm Street on Nintendo as well, which apparently is worth a pretty good amount of money. So,
Didn't know that.
but yeah, I have that. I have it and I haven't played it. Like I know it works because I tested all my cartridges, but
I
yeah.
think I have that game.
Do
I
you?
think the
think-
only game I have that I know is still worth a ton of, well, that I know just inadvertently became worth some money was I got the Metro Prime Trilogy for the Wii. I didn't know it spiked that hard. I was like, okay.
Yeah, actually, no, that's actually worth a pretty good penny too. Yeah.
Still got the case and everything.
Omega in the chat has yeah, he just put it. He has Panzer Dragoon Saga complete in box.
Oh God.
That's worth a bill. Like
Yeah.
I probably think that is over $1,000. I think.
So I got all my old stuff, man. I gotta look through some of it, I guess.
Yeah, I have like
Omega set $1,000. Yeah, it's
I got the original box for Sonic 2 and the game. I got all my stuff since like the Nintendo and Game Boy era.
My Genesis stuff that I have is in the boxes, because the thing with Genesis is it was much easier to keep your stuff complete in boxes because their boxes were actually legit. Yeah.
Plastic
Super Nintendo's was much harder. So a lot of my stuff, now here's the thing, a lot of my stuff are in boxes, but the instruction manuals are missing. So they're in box, but they're not complete in box. Probably because the kids that, they'd pull out this stuff, because it's not mine. This is stuff that was given to me or stuff that I've picked up over the years. A lot of the stuff that I had is in my mom's house. The only thing I have here is my 8 Dreamcasts. I have all my Dreamcasts here. Which, by the way, Chad, if you can find a Sega Saturn light gun, please hit me up, because I have a bunch of Virtua Fighter or Virtua Cop games that I would like to continue to play that I can't because they're so awesome. Because I don't have a light gun. Yeah, I've gone everywhere, dude. Like, you can get them online, but there's no guarantee they work. And they're like $200. I'm like, I'm not paying that much for a light gun. They weren't that much when they came out, and it's just for Virtua Cop. But Virtua Cop's a good game, though.
What about those old school gamer places? What's that old school gaming or whatever? The local places?
Yeah, no, they don't have it. They don't have it. Video Game Heaven doesn't have it. They don't even Video Game Heaven will order it online for you and have it shipped to them, which is nice, even though you can just do it yourself. But they won't.
I would say eBay, but
that's what I'm saying. It's expensive if you go through that, and that's no guarantee that it'll work.
I'll say, because I can barely even find a Saturn Steel, let alone
Omega said, and light guns only work on CRTs as well. That's facts, but I have 25. I have 25 CRTs, so.
You better sell things to Smash community, man. You make some money,
dude. I got I was told I can't get any more because I have so many. I have 2 32 inches I'm looking at right now, and that one of them is a Sony Trinitron, which apparently is like super sought out. And then in my garage, I have at least 15, 20 more like variants in sizes. I actually don't want the CRTs in here anymore. They're just too heavy to move.
Yeah, I was going to say that 32 inch probably weighs at least about 100 pounds.
Oh, it's
I
had a 32. I gave mine to Vendi for KIT. I gave him mine because I was leaving Memphis anyway. I was like, here, man, take this big beast.
But see, I got a lot of the customers' houses that I would go to, they were upgrading their TVs for Christmas. They're like, we're just throwing them out. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I had somebody try to do that to me one time. I was like, yeah, nah, I don't want that thing.
Oh no, dude! There was this look. So I didn't use my work vehicle because we can't do that, right? But a guy was like, "Hey, if you can get this TV from upstairs," it was an older gentleman. It was one of the ones I had back there. It was probably 25 inch or whatever, but it was like super. I mean, it was bulky. It was like on an entertainment center. He's like, I can't move this. If you can get it downstairs, he's like, you can have it. And I said, well, look, I'll get it downstairs now, but I have to come back and get it later. He's like, that's fine. So I just I put it right on the ground and just pushed it down the stairs. I'm like, if you don't care, I don't care. Right? I'm like, I don't care. Yeah. If it's going to work, it's a CRT. So it's just do. I'm like, I'll be back to get it later. There was another lady. Oh man, yeah, no. I got a bunch of CRT stories. They're not relevant. A Sony Trinitron. That is like telling kids about a corded phone. I have a couple of those in the garage too. Hey, I remember party lines. Okay.
I mean, they still have corded phones around everywhere.
I had a corded phone that was see-through in the 80s. That's like the one you see in all the it's 80s.
Like the blue, red, and yellow.
We had that. We had it. Yeah. We also used to have. look, we had another phone. It was just a regular phone, you could put on speaker. But locally, I don't know if this is something that you could do anywhere, but locally, you could call the info line. Okay, the info line that you could contact would give you all kinds of stuff. You could get the weather. You could even get like the synopsis of what happened on a soap opera, right? So it would be like, today on General Hospital, Sonny killed Jason while fighting over like they would actually it was this thing, right? But another thing that you could do is you could leave messages. I can't remember what the line was called, but it was just like a place where you could just leave messages. So people would have code names. I was Daffy Duck, right? So we would have code names and we would talk to people. Like, this is pre-internet, guys. This is how you had to social network if you didn't go out and talk to people. But we would leave messages on this info line, and you could go through and it would recycle 5 to 10 different messages. It's kind of like TikTok is now, where you could just like, hit a button to skip to the next message. So people would be like, oh, it's Daffy. Let me hear what Daffy has to say. It was genius. I don't know if that thing still exists. I'm gonna try to call it later. I still remember the number.
I'm just seeing you tripping off John's face because he listened to that whole story like, what in the world?
No, I knew exactly. No, I used to do the same thing.
Did
like
you really? I'm
party
telling
lines.
you, that was a thing right here,
there was a wrestling one. Like you call it up, and it would update every week.
It was the same. It was the same number. There was a wrestling one. It would give you the little stuff for all the what happened that week in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
yeah, that's crazy.
Y'all didn't have that.
Well, that's what
I mean, I heard it. I just never used it. I knew about it. I just never used it. I knew about it.
I think it was just around here. I don't know that it was,
It was in it was like a number in like the Daily Break or whatever, but like they had different codes that you put in. Like,
it was 4-digit codes.
Yeah, you put in the code, like you see, like there was a listing of the different stuff they updated. Yeah, so you put in the code, and then like it would update every week.
Yep. That's crazy. But yeah, I was Daffy. Like each one of us had a Looney Tunes name. I was Daffy Duck. I can't remember what everybody else's was, but I think Eric was Sylvester. I can't remember. I know that Sandro was Bugs Bunny. It was a whole thing. But yeah, it was fun. That's what we used to do to chat with people. Yeah, we're weird.
Talking about old school phones. Like when it was like last year in Memphis. We did a funeral because I was part of a funeral detail when I was stationed in Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
And we were we went this people invited us to our house. Like a lot of times you get invited to like the receptions and stuff. And if we got time, we'll go because they really want to thank us. So we get a free meal for the road and stuff. And we went to this lady's house and she had a bunch of stuff. And this was right around time for Christmas. And so people like donate stuff for Toys for Tots. They'll donate, anything they have, and if we can't take it, we'll still donate. We'll give it to other charities and stuff. Well, this old lady gave us this old box of stuff, and so we opened it, and it was like all kinds of old stuff. But she had an old rotary phone in there. It was one of them cool, like fancy looking ones with the little hook rotary.
Right.
Oh, I kept that joint. I used it in the house. People would trip up to come to my house and had the rotary phone sitting there. Like, what the world is that?
Dude, we have customers that try to get our phone service, and they try to use rotary phones, and they don't understand why it doesn't work. They're like, it's a phone. It just plugs into the jack. I'm like, yeah.
Nah, it doesn't.
It does not work.
My grandparents still had that for the longest.
I wish
they're awesome though, but
it
doesn't
cool.
work
It's
on
like
a digital
decoration.
world.
Should have rotary phone money matches. See how many kids know how to use a rotary phone.
My God. If you can make a phone call on this, whoever makes the first phone call makes my phone ring.
Yep.
Dude, you can do that with old text messaging too, where you couldn't type, you actually had to push the numbers.
Yeah, push the numbers.
Dude, I could look at somebody's like hand and be like, oh, I can figure out what they're saying, like without having to look at the letters. That's crazy. Roman had asked, is this an actual room? No, this is green screen, buddy. Green screen. 100%.
But see, you own all those shirts, don't you?
So I have these shirts.
This is my room though.
Yeah, that is actually his room. But these shirts here that are put into frames are from Eric's house. But I do own these shirts myself. But what he did was I literally looked behind me like I'm actually. So this shirt here looks like I'm actually. So I believe Batman is here. So this shirt here, and then that's not Batman.
No, that's what is that?
That's Batman. That's a Batman shirt.
Above your head.
Now he's touching back. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I can't see. Right. I don't know. Like I think like Flash is over here. Is that right? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
I'm
Flash.
not a weatherman, guys. So it's but either way, I have the shirts. But this is what he did with them when they shrunk. We don't get bigger; they shrink. So when the shirt shrunk, he put them in frames, and it actually looked pretty cool. So for some reason, my lighting here at the Cyber Studio is not darkening everything out like it should. And like even over here in this corner, you can kind of see like the shadow of my arm, see it like right over there. My lighting is not the way that it should be. So I just put this backdrop up there just to kind of like make it look a little different. So, all right, guys, we have ran over quite a bit because scam Enix, but I always appreciate the time. We had a good time. Next week, I think I may have Omega on. There's some stuff that he wants to talk about. So if somebody wants to sit out, or if we just want to make it one big phone call conversation, we can. But he wants to get on and talk about some gaming stuff that he wants to, join in on the Coin Up conversation with, and that's fine. We'll have guests on here from time to time. So we'll figure it out between now and next week and see what we got going on. John, let everybody know what you got going on this week if they want to hit you up between now and next Tuesday.
I probably have a whole lot of nothing. I don't know. Like I said, I've been thinking about trying to stream Ghost of Tsushima. I want to grind to level up so I can do the high level raids, because the gear you get out of those are actually really dope. So if I do decide to do that, you guys can follow me at twitch.tv/neoshanwu_. I'll throw that in the chat.
Yeah, go ahead and throw the go ahead and promote some PR action.
Yeah. So, they got followed. Well, that doesn't help for me because that's for him. But, you can follow me on Twitter at neoshanwu, and you can follow me on Instagram. I post like some of my car stuff and things of that nature on there at John Quest. That JONQWEST.
Yeah, and if you're watching this on YouTube, if I ever remember to actually add that stuff in the description, you can just click it in the description box below. Gamer, where are they going to find you this week?
They're going to find me. They'll probably find me in your chat whenever you stream. I'll be in there hanging out. Or I'll be in whoever streaming. Also go to Vegeta stream. I'll hang out in them because I like seeing Apex Rage, because they make me feel better when I play, because that game will make you rage.
I love watching the game, man. I just wish I know if I put more time into it, I could be better. The meta of that game is so different than what I'm used to in terms of Fortnite and stuff. It's just, I like watching it more than playing it.
You build a fortress around yourself when you're getting bodied.
I'm out of mats. I don't understand. You don't get mats in this game. Fall damage.
It's like you used to get shot and building a skyscraper.
Yeah, exactly.
So you gotta actually run for cover.
I got jump. It's different mindsets.
Playing that tomorrow, actually, because I need to get that battle pass up. I think I'm like 89 right now.
You might as well just buy your way to success.
Buy the last 10 tiers. So
I refuse.
100% tomorrow night I will be streaming Fortnite because Dizzy will be off. Usually that's what she likes to play, so we will be also playing that. I need to check my Roman's talking about Minecraft. I need to check my Minecraft. For some reason it wasn't done downloading. He actually gifted it to me, chat. He gifted me Minecraft Java Edition, so we're gonna stream that, not tonight, but we're gonna stream that.
Java Edition? I saw, I think Neo Phoenix said it too. What's the difference? I don't know nothing about Minecraft.
The original Minecraft on PC is technically Java Edition. The one that's cross-platform is Bedrock Edition, and Bedrock Edition is trash. So do not play. Like, if people play Bedrock Edition, I'm not going to be like, oh, you play Bedrock. It's literally the same game. They have little differences about them, and they play a little bit differently. But the Java Edition allows for mods. Bedrock Edition is heavily like their servers and stuff is microtransactions, whereas with the Java Edition you actually pay for a server that people can join, so it's different. And with Java Edition it's PC to PC only. It's not a, you can't play.
Do you still pay for the Java Edition? Do you have to pay for it, or can you download it somewhere? Java Edition.
Roman gifted it to me. I'm pretty sure it's at the Microsoft store, Minecraft.com.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have to download that. You have to pay for the Java Edition.
It's two different versions, so I mean that's, you should know which one is which. If one says it's cross-platform, that is the wrong one. Because this,
that's the one. That's the one my son plays.
Yeah, and I have it on PlayStation, which is the Bedrock Edition. If you can play either or, but the Bedrock Edition, you can play with people, but you have to have a subscription service to PlayStation Plus for every person that plays. So in my household,
for the Switch, you have to have
the Nintendo thing.
Yeah.
So for everyone in my house, if we all wanted to play together and we didn't play the PlayStation 4 console version, we have to all 4 of us have PlayStation Plus.
So wait a minute, it's cross-platform, right? So if you bought a Switch,
It's cross-platform, but you have to pay for whatever service
The online service is for that place. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Okay, I get it.
it's pretty
Yeah.
scummy as you know it is.
Yep.
But Windows equal the Bedrock edition. So yeah, don't get the Windows edition. Minecraft.net. So there's that. And we're going to play some Minecraft. I'm going to see if I don't understand. Piper was home earlier today and the download for whatever reason didn't download. And so I'm going to see if it's done now, or I couldn't have it running while we were doing the stream. So I can play some Minecraft. I've actually been jazzed to play Minecraft. I haven't played that in a hot minute. So, and now Piper wants to play Minecraft. Go figure.
Of course.
I don't think your PC is going to run Minecraft.
If it's a job, it shouldn't be that big, is it?
Your Bluetooth just completely freeze and stop responding.
Yeah, your PC cannot handle it because your PC's jacked up. But no, Minecraft, it's a big game, dude. Minecraft's big.
Minecraft's pretty serious.
My
You'd
PC
be
is a
surprised. It
2-year-old.
don't
Then
really
my
look
other-
like it, but nah, that game is
A
pretty
bunch of
intense.
blocks, bro.
That's what I was saying. I was gonna say blocks. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I think it was that
Nina
big.
Williams, Tekken
So,
5.
Vegeta, how come you don't have 7 days to die, man? We should be playing that, dude. That's like your cup of tea. Build bases and fight zombies.
It's because I'm busy with like Apex, Tekken, and work.
Yeah, I understand that.
There's a whole lot of stuff going on at work I don't want to deal with, and I've put in a whole lot of OT. In fact, I just got home right before I did this podcast today.
Oh
Oh,
wow!
dang.
Get
Wow.
that cash money, son.
I know.
I am getting stressed out, so
I understand, dude.
Earn them gray hairs.
feeling.
Let's go.
Yeah,
I
as
know,
you can
right?
tell by mine, look, literally, I was talking about it before. Like, I think you can see it better on this side. What is this side of my face? Is it this side? No.
Yeah.
So look, that I didn't line my jaw. That's literally the gray hairs. Just for whatever reason, they go right up here. So if I shave everything under here, it would literally be lined up. But it also looks like it's like super patchy, but it's actually not. It's just gray hair. And the crazy thing is, my gray hair comes and goes. Now, everything I've read about gray hair, once you go gray, it's gray. But literally, you'll see in my beard will be like, it'll be like gray. And then right in the middle will be like black. And then it'll go back to being gray again. And then black. And I'm like, that's a thing.
Yeah.
holding on, bro.
It's trying. It's just trying. It's like every once in a while, it's like, oh, I'm gonna get in there. But yeah, you know.
Oh,
So
March
Vegeta, are
21st.
you streaming any this week? What do you have going on, sir?
Honestly, the rest of this week I'm not really sure because, as I said, work has
With
been a
work?
little chaotic. And
I got you, man.
we have one dude out. We got one dude with a medical issue that leaves two of us. Our boss is down in freaking South Carolina doing his thing because again we're missing people. It's not fun.
So I mean, are you guys hiring? Because like I might be looking for a job. I laugh and it's so sad.
I want them to hire, but I don't think so
that sucks.
because we're getting to the point where we're stretched a little thin. Like there's 5 of us, but like we're all the way down South Carolina and all the way up as far as remote
Hey, I
people
can
in
work.
Pennsylvania
I can
now.
work OT. I can travel. What's up? Let them know. Tell them. I'm good.
Give me
it's
the
a
application, bro.
It's a 40-year-old jacked up, foot dude who likes to work. Anyhow,
Either way,
well, chat, keep an eye on Vegeta. It's his Twitch channel if he wants to. Isn't it Vegeta 2_2552_?
there's no underscore at the end, but yeah.
Oh, okay, no underscore at the end. There you go, chat. Vegeta 2552 with an underscore, and I think Neo's got it. Neo's got it going in the chat.
Yep.
Give him a follow. Watch his Apex play. I will be streaming tomorrow, and maybe Thursday, but Friday for sure. So we'll be doing that, and then Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because I'll be out of work for whatever. Yeah, whatever.
I got my days. I swear up there I thought day was Wednesday. I was like, what? Thursday? What days went? Oh shoot. Days
Yeah,
Tuesday.
I want the week to hurry up, right? But at the same time, I don't, because that's closer to the surgery, and I don't know how. I don't know. Like, I'm okay with surgery. Like, that's whatever. I've had procedures done before, not to this extent, but I've had procedures done before. It's everything that's going to happen after, like the effects of everything that's going to happen in the actual life because of this is what I don't like. I'm not in a hurry for that because it's going to be
You got meetings before the surgery, right? They're gonna have, like, don't you have like pre-surgery meetings and stuff?
This week is all that. This week is the pre-op and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
my
this should give you
job.
an idea how you gonna feel.
Oh, feeling wise is fine. I'm talking about my job because
Yeah,
they already
but
denied
you
my
can
claim. So
for surgery?
yeah, they've already denied my FMLA claim
How?
because I can only do it once. You can only do it once in a 12-month period, and they already had me on FMLA last year. Within
But
the
didn't you
12-month
say
period.
you had to have the surgery for everything else to go down?
I have to have the surgery in order to stay at my position. That doesn't mean the company has to keep me.
For a lawsuit.
Yeah, nah,
Well,
not.
we'll see what
Yeah.
happens. We'll see what happens. But that's where I'm at. So I'm just trying to be like, you know, I'm all cool on the outside, but on the inside, I'm like, no. We'll see.
Yeah, I get it.
But that's it for this episode of Coin Op Conversation. It is 10:40, so we've been like an hour over almost than what we normally go.
Yeah.
So, but it's all in good fun. It's all in good health. Next week we don't have any topics yet, but if there's something you guys want us to talk about other than just old school arcade stuff, hit me up on Twitter or hit John up on Twitter. Let us know if you have some ideas and it's something that we can throw in while we chat. Right now we're just doing, whatever's new, whatever's trending at the moment. But I'll see you guys next week. Omega will be on with us next week. So if everybody else is here, we'll have a big party going on. If not, well, Omega will be here to fill in the gap. So we'll see you guys later. Stay defaulty. Peace. And we're going to wait like 10 seconds. We're just going to stare at the screen and just so the mobile people like Gamer, who's always on mobile.
Stare into yourself. Actually, I'm on PC right now. I'm on PC, actually.
Usually you're on mobile when you're watching me stream, though, and you're like 30 seconds
yeah.
behind.
Yeah, because I'm playing something else
Yeah,
at the same time watching you stream.